Welcome to the Ballroom Dance channel. We are a worldwide community of ballroom dancers who meet here every day to chat all things ballroom dance. Today's letter. Hi, Sunny. I've been studying both American Smooth and International Standard. And I've noticed many of the principles cross over between the two, which has been very helpful. But I'm wondering, are there some techniques or movements that are different between the two? Okay, let's dive in. Number one, communicating technique stuff is challenging in YouTube because this is a two-dimensional means of communication and it's only one way. I actually can't see you dancing. So here's my best broad brush. Generally speaking, American Smooth is going to have a farther apart frame, meaning the arms, especially for the lead, are going to be farther away from the body than in the International Standard, and it's going to be very obvious when I show you the left side. So I'm leading in this case. Standard, smooth. Standard, smooth. Okay, next up. There's a lot of shaping with the arms. We don't really have that freedom in the International Standard, so while we do shape in the arms, we don't generally use the elbows or the wrists to make shapes. We're making shapes with the body, and that top line, whether it's lead or follow, is quite consistent. If we were to look at that angle from my shoulders and my upper arms and my forearms, even my hands, we're not doing a lot of shifting and shaping, okay? You know, American Smooth, if I might be sending my lady away, I could have hands up and down. There's so many different ways you can make shapes with the upper body. And in the International Standard, we do make shapes with the upper body, but it's generated from the lower body, the knees, the legs. And next up, there's a lot more lowering action in the legs in the American Smooth because we are hauling booty down that floor. Not that we're not hauling booty in the Standard, but even more in the Smooth because of that lack of close connection in the legs. Just the physics of how it's going to work. When I am up against my partner, just snuggled in there, you know, we are going to be a bit unavoidably in each other's way. Now, of course, we have all sorts of technique to overcome that and travel a ton in Standard, but you can do even more in the Smooth with that freedom of movement, okay? Well, how do we get flight? It's not jumping foot to foot, it's lowering. So I lower and I go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hopefully you can see the distance is bigger the lower I get and the higher I get. Low, high, and that's how we get that distance down the floor. Okay, next up, there's a ton of solo dancing in the American Smooth compared to the International Standard. So I might dance solo 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. For example, I might run up to the partner in a quick step when that music starts, or perhaps do a spin into their partner in the Viennese waltz. But once I connect to the partner, the rules prohibit me from breaking away from the partner in any way. I'm on there until that song is over and I'm walking off the floor. So how I would closest relate this would be like lyrical dance. If you are going to supplement your ballroom dance lessons with other dance lessons, which I encourage you to do because inevitably every other style is cheaper, and it will help your ballroom dancing. If you're doing American Smooth, look into the lyrical. Not that other styles will hurt, but in my opinion, that's going to be the most useful for making similar shapes with the upper body to what's going to work for your American Smooth. On the other hand, if you're doing International Standard, sounds like you're doing them all, you might consider something like a Tai Chi. A lot of Standard dancers also do Pilates. Basically, these have isotonic versus isometric motions, so you can learn to be still on the top while moving things elsewhere in your body. Because the way we're built, you're going to want to move everything at once, whether you're doing Smooth or Standard. And generally, there's what we call separation of the blocks in any style, where one part of the body is going to be still, maybe a straight leg action in a cha-cha, and then something else is going to be zipping around. So that's definitely a skill that takes years of repetition to kind of dial in. Final thought, when you're doing the international style, because of that more full body connection, the center tends to be quite high up in the body. Not that it's not in smooth, but there are many occasions where you might actually bend from the lower back instead of the upper spine. You can't get away with that in the international standard. That is a super common mistake early on in your international standard journey, where you see a YouTube video and you're just learning visually, trying to copy, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it from the waist. You end up just pulling on your partner like a ton of bricks. Don't do it. That movement in the international style is gonna come from up top. Whereas smooth, when I'm farther away, I might just have a hand connection altogether. Heck yeah, you can bend from the waist there. Again, always check with your private lesson teacher, because they know your dancing 1,000 times better than I do. They can show you in 3D when I can only use in words here to describe to you, and pictures. So I'm going to follow up with some pictures of these supplemental dance styles so you have an idea of what I'm talking about in terms of the difference in these movements. So thank you again for your question. I love that you're doing all these styles. And yeah, most of these techniques and movements totally cross over in a lovely way that's going to propel your learning in both styles. Okay, guys, I look forward to seeing you first thing tomorrow morning for some more Things Ballroom Dance. Hey, keep those questions coming in. I so appreciate it. Okay, have a wonderful, happy dancing day. Doodles.